Hello, my name is Archana. Today, I want to share with you the story of the USA. This story will help you learn English. It will also be fun and interesting. Let's start our journey together. Once upon a time, many years ago, there was a land full of forests, rivers, and mountains. This land is what we now call the United States of America. Before it became the USA, many different groups of people lived here. They were Native Americans, and they loved the land. They took care of it and lived peacefully with nature. One day, people from faraway lands, like Europe, came to this new world. They came on big ships, and they were looking for new places to live and new adventures. These people started to make homes in the new land. They worked hard, built houses, and made new lives. There was a man named Christopher Columbus. He is often remembered because he sailed across the ocean and found this new land. But he was not the first person to find America. The Native Americans were here long before him. Columbus's journey, though, made more people in Europe curious about this new world. As more people came to live in the new land, they began to build towns and cities. They worked together and started to dream about making a country of their own. They wanted to be free and make their own rules. They didn't want to be told what to do by the King of England anymore. So, the people in the new land decided to fight for their freedom. They called this the American Revolution. It was a hard time, but they were strong and brave. After many battles, they won their freedom. They created a new country, the United States of America, and wrote important papers to guide them. One of these papers is called the Declaration of Independence. It says that all people should be free and have the same rights. Years passed, and the USA grew bigger and bigger. More people came from different parts of the world. They brought their dreams and hopes with them. They built railroads, roads, and cities. They also faced many challenges, like wars and hard times, but they always found a way to stay strong. In this big country, there was a dream called the American Dream. It means that everyone can be happy and successful if they work hard. Many people came to America because they believed in this dream. They believed that in America, anything is possible. As I tell this story, I want you to remember a few things to help you learn English better. First, always try to understand the main idea. Don't worry about every word. Second, practice speaking and writing every day. Just like the people who built America, you can build your English skills step by step. Let me tell you a short memory. Once, a man named Abraham Lincoln became the president of the USA. He was very wise and kind. He believed that all people should be free and equal. He said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." This means that people need to work together to stay strong. Lincoln's words are still remembered today because they teach us about unity and strength. Now, I will continue with more about the USA. There were many more important people and events that shaped this country. For example, the Civil War was a very difficult time. The country was divided, but in the end, they stayed together and became stronger. Remember, History is like a long story. It has many parts and many characters. Each part of the story teaches us something new. And just like learning English, it takes time to understand it all. As we continue, think about how each part of this story connects. How did the people from long ago help make the USA what it is today? How can we learn from their mistakes and their successes? The history of the USA is full of lessons and inspiration. It's a story of people who wanted to be free and live a good life. It's a story of courage, hope, and dreams. Let's continue this journey together, and as we do, your English will get better. I will keep telling you more about the USA, its people, and its history. The more you listen and read, the more you will learn. Now, let's go back to the time after the American Revolution. The new country was free, but they needed to decide how to run it. So, they wrote the Constitution, which is like a rule book for the country. It tells how the government should work and how people should be treated. The first president of the USA was George Washington. He was a good leader and helped the country get started. He made sure that the new government was strong and fair. People looked up to him because he was honest and cared about the country. After Washington, other presidents came and led the country. Each one tried to make the USA better in their own way. Some of them did great things, and some made mistakes, but each one played a part in the story of the USA. As you keep learning, remember that mistakes are okay. We learn from them, just like the USA learned from its past. So, if you make a mistake while learning English, don't worry. It's just a step in your journey. I hope you are enjoying this story so far. There is still so much more to tell. The USA is a big country with a big history, and I will continue to share it with you. Together, we will explore the events, people, and ideas that made the USA what it is today. This story is not just about history, it's also about learning. As you hear more about the USA, your English will improve. You will learn new words, new ideas, and new ways to express yourself. Let me tell you another short memory. There was a man named Martin Luther King Jr. He dreamed of a world where everyone was treated equally, no matter the color of their skin. He said, "I have a dream." His words inspired many people to work for a better world. Martin Luther King's dream reminds us that we should all treat each other with kindness and respect. As we go on, I will share more memories like this one. Each memory will teach us something important about history and about life. The story of the USA is also a story of growth. The country started small, but it kept growing. New states were added, and more people came to live here. The USA became a place where people from all over the world could come and start a new life. This growth was not always easy. There were times when people had to work very hard and face difficult challenges. But they never gave up. They believed in their dreams and worked together to make them come true. Remember, learning English is like building a country. It takes time, patience, and hard work. But if you keep going, you will see progress. Just like the USA grew and became strong, you will also grow in your English skills. As we continue, I will tell you more about the different parts of the USA. Each part has its own story and its own special place in history. From the big cities to the wide open spaces, the USA is full of interesting places and people. Let's keep going on this journey together. There is still so much more to learn and discover. The story of the USA is long and full of twists and turns, just like a good adventure. I hope you are enjoying this story and that it is helping you improve your English. As you listen and read, try to imagine the people and places I am telling you about. This will help you understand the story better. We have talked about the beginning of the USA and some of the important people and events that shaped it. Now, let's look at some of the challenges the country faced as it grew. One of the biggest challenges was the Civil War. This was a time when the country was divided. The people in the North and the South had different ideas about how the country should be run. They fought a war to decide these differences. The Civil War was a very hard time for the USA. Many people lost their lives, and the country was in danger of falling apart. But in the end, the country stayed together, and the people learned that they needed to work together to stay strong. This part of the story teaches us about the importance of unity. Even when we have differences, we need to find ways to work together. This is a lesson that can also help us in our own lives. As we move forward, I will tell you more about how the USA grew after the Civil War. The country became stronger and more united. People continued to work hard and build their dreams. The USA also became a place where new ideas were born. People invented new things, started new businesses, and made new discoveries. This spirit of innovation helped the country grow and become a leader in the world. Remember, learning is also about trying new things. Don't be afraid to experiment with your English. Try new words, new sentences, and new ways of expressing yourself. This will help you grow and improve. As we continue, I will share more stories and memories with you. Each one will add to our understanding of the USA and its history, and each one will help you get better at English. The story of the USA is full of hope and determination. It shows us that with hard work and a positive attitude, we can achieve great things. This is a lesson that can inspire us all. So, let's keep going on this journey. There are still many more stories to tell, and many more lessons to learn. The USA is a big country with a big history, and we have only just begun to explore it. As we continue, I will tell you more about the people and events that made the USA what it is today. Each part of the story will bring us closer to understanding this amazing country. And as you keep listening and reading, your English will get better. You will learn new words, new ideas, and new ways to express yourself. This journey is not just about history, it's also about learning and growing. Now, let's continue with the story of the USA. After the Civil War, the country began to rebuild. People worked hard to fix what was broken and to create a better future. This time of rebuilding was called Reconstruction. Reconstruction was a time of hope and change. The people wanted to make the country better and more fair. They wanted to make sure that everyone had the same rights and opportunities. But this was not easy. There were still many challenges and difficulties. Some people did not want to change, and they tried to stop the progress. But the people who believed in freedom and equality kept working hard. They knew that change was important, and they did not give up. As we move forward, I will tell you more about how the USA continued to grow and change. The country faced many challenges, but each time, the people found a way to overcome them. This part of the story teaches us about the importance of perseverance. Even when things are hard, we need to keep going. This is a lesson that can help us in our own lives. As we continue, I will share more stories and memories with you. Each one will add to our understanding of the USA and its history, and each one will help you get better at English. The story of the USA is full of lessons and inspiration. It shows us that with hard work, determination, and a positive attitude, we can achieve great things. This is a lesson that can inspire us all. So, let's keep going on this journey. There are still many more stories to tell and many more lessons to learn. The USA is a big country with a big history, and we have only just begun to explore it. As we continue, I will tell you more about the people and events that made the USA what it is today. Each part of the story will bring us closer to understanding this amazing country. And as you keep listening and reading, your English will get better. You will learn new words, new ideas, and new ways to express yourself. This journey is not just about history, it's also about learning and growing. Thank you for your patience. Let's continue our journey through the history of the United States. After the time of Reconstruction, the USA entered a period of great growth. This time was called the Gilded Age. During the Gilded Age, many people became very rich. They built big houses, started businesses, and created new inventions. Some of these people were known as captains of industry because they led the way in creating new industries like steel, oil, and railroads. But not everyone was rich during the Gilded Age. Many people were poor and had to work very hard for little money. They worked in factories, mines, and other tough jobs. These workers didn't have many rights, and their lives were often very difficult. During this time, cities in the USA grew very quickly. Many people moved from the countryside to the cities to find work. The cities became crowded, and there were many problems like pollution and poor living conditions. But even with these problems, people kept coming to the cities because they believed in the American dream. The American dream is the idea that anyone, no matter where they come from, can achieve success through hard work. Many people from other countries came to the USA during this time because they wanted to live the American dream. They came from places like Europe, Asia, and Latin America, hoping to find a better life. One famous place where many of these people arrived was Ellis Island in New York. When they arrived, they saw the Statue of Liberty, a symbol of freedom and hope. The statue welcomed people to their new home and reminded them that the USA was a place where they could start a new life. Let's take a moment to think about the lessons we can learn from this part of the story. The Gilded Age shows us that growth and success often come with challenges. But even when times are tough, we should keep believing in our dreams and work hard to achieve them. As we move forward in our story, the USA continued to grow and change. The country faced new challenges, but each time, the people found ways to overcome them. In the late 1800s, the USA began to look beyond its own borders. The country started to expand its influence around the world. This was a time of exploration and adventure. The USA took control of new territories like Alaska and Hawaii, and it became involved in events far away from home. One important event during this time was the Spanish-American War. This war was between the USA and Spain, and it happened in 1898. The USA won the war and gained control of places like Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines. This victory showed that the USA was becoming a powerful country on the world stage. After the Spanish-American War, the USA continued to grow in power and influence. The country became more involved in world affairs and started to build a strong military. This period of growth and expansion was exciting, but it also brought new responsibilities. As we continue our story, it's important to remember that with great power comes great responsibility. The USA had to learn how to use its power wisely and how to work with other countries to make the world a better place.